What is going on, everybody? D. Illa here. So we fall to the Eagles yesterday. Not surprised by this. A lot of people out here crying about the refs. I mean, it is what it is. In my eyes, man, the refs did us a favor. So, you know how I feel about this team right now. No, I feel about this team and what they should be doing. I'm not really going to go into depth about that game. I don't really feel the need to. I mean, long and the short of it, man, the Philadelphia Eagles are a better team than us. Even regardless if they were on this skid or not, man, the Eagles, flat out, they're a better football team than the New York Giants. Everybody that knows football knows this. Anybody that barely knows anything about football knows this. So, some things that I wanted to talk about in regards to this game. I want to talk about this offense as a whole. As you guys know, I believe wholeheartedly that this team needs to be as high up in that draft to get ourselves a quarterback. I've been talking about that for weeks. I continue to stand on that mountain, and I'm going to die on that hill. So, basically, from what I saw of this game yesterday, I'm going to talk about this offense. I'm going to talk about this offense as a whole. You look at this team right now, we have many questions on the offensive line. No doubt about that. Andrew Thomas, the only staple on this team. Game in and game out, as long as he doesn't have an ankle injury going on or a hamstring injury, he's in there. He's a solid piece of that offensive line. Evan Neal on the right side. Big question mark. Don't know exactly what he's going to be. John Michael Smith at center. Smits at center. Hopefully, he's that piece that we need at center for years to come. We still need 2 guards and potentially a right tackle. Maybe we move Jackass over inside the guard and he can solve his issues. Maybe he becomes like an Eric Flowers and he's able to transition from tackle to guard and play that position much better. So, obviously we need work at the offensive line. We all know this. It's been the same story for God only knows how long. All of us have been talking about this ad nauseum, that the offensive line needs to be fixed. But yesterday I'm looking at this team from the wide receiver standpoint. And I'm looking at Wan'dale Robinson, and I'm looking at Jalin Hyatt. Yes, Jalin Hyatt is a rookie. Jalin Hyatt has had his games here and there. And I had high hopes for Jalin Hyatt. Had high hopes for Jalin Hyatt before the season started. I thought he definitely would have grown a lot further than what he has so far. And when you look at that game yesterday, and you look at the stat sheet, and you see a zero, a big goose egg from Jalin Hyatt in the stat column. That is not promising for us when it comes to potential wide receiver options for this football team, guys that we can rely on. Because me personally, I look at the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, and that's a bad secondary, man. This is a secondary that many teams have lit up all season long. Everybody knows you have a hard time running the ball against the Philadelphia Eagles. The one way that you attack the Eagles is through the air. You attack Bradbury, you attack Slay, you attack those weak safety options that they have. That's how you beat the Philadelphia Eagles. When you look at a guy like Jalin Hyatt yesterday, goes out there, puts up a 0 on the stat sheet, can't find a way to get open against this weak secondary throughout the entire game. I understand the Giants really didn't take too many shots down the field, but, was Hyatt really getting open? Was Hyatt really getting open, giving the quarterbacks an opportunity to hit him with passes? And if he couldn't get open against his secondary yesterday, man, that doesn't instill much faith in me when it comes to Jalin Hyatt. Because he already had questions about his route tree and his ability to run routes at this level. And we all remember the video, the Dallas Cowboys coach giving him a hard time, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to show you. Well, he hasn't shown much of anything this year, especially from a route standpoint. Like, that's a team where Jalin Hyatt should have been heavily involved. Now, yes, again, he's a rookie, but he should not have been as quiet as he was in that game yesterday. You should have heard his name at least on 2 or 3 different occasions in that game, at the very least. Now, yes, we didn't take very many shots down the field. The one shot that we did was to Darius Slayton, who caught that, 70-yard touchdown. What was it, 65, 70-yard touchdown? But, that's Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is doing what he does here and there. Darius Slayton's not consistent. We all know this. Darius Slayton has this big play, and then he disappears for 4 or 5 games and doesn't do anything for us. But yeah, that does not instill much hope in me when it comes to Jalen Hyatt. It really doesn't, because that's a secondary that man should come out and produce against. I firmly believe this, regardless if he's a rookie or not. He should have made his presence felt out there on that field. And if you can't even catch one ball against the Philadelphia Eagles, how much faith can this team and this fan base really put in a guy like Jalen Hyatt going forward? Now, the second guy I'm going to talk about, Wan'dale Robinson. Yes, Wan'dale Robinson 2 weeks ago, what he had? He had over 100 total yards, rushing and receiving. You watch that ball that Tyrod Taylor threw to him up the right sideline in what was it, late in the third quarter, early in the fourth, and the corner kind of cut in front of him, and may have disturbed his line of sight when it comes to catching the ball, but the ball basically hit him right in the chest, man. And what did he do? He alligator armed it. I mean, basically everything that Wan'dale Robinson catches, it looks like he's alligator arming it because his arms are so short. But especially on that play, he never even extended his arms out. Never even extended his arms out to catch the ball. Is this a guy, even when this team becomes good, one day, who knows when it's going to happen, is this a guy that you guys honestly believe can get the job done come crunch time? Like, if this team ever gets to the playoffs again and goes on some kind of playoff run, do you have faith in Wan'dale Robinson to make the tough catches? Do you? Because what I've seen out of the guy, I don't. Not at all. Not at all. Wan'dale Robinson hasn't really proved anything to me. I didn't like the pick from the beginning. I thought he was a duplicate of Sterling Shepard. Then you bring in Paris Campbell. He's the same guy. Those are three of the same damn wide receivers. And I get, yeah, he's coming back from an injury, man, but he hasn't really contributed at all to this team. At all. Not really a difference maker. Not a guy that's going to move the needle. I'm telling you, man, this team has got to find an Akeem Nicks somehow, some way. Either there's been all this talk about us trading for a guy like T. Higgins. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, or trading for a guy like Brandon Ayuk. I mean, those are two options. If we get them, thank God. But is it really going to happen? I mean, I'm not going to put any money on it. Would those two guys definitely help our situation? Of course. They would be way better than what we've got right now. And I know, I'm a guy that's come out and said I didn't really necessarily think these wide receiver options on this team were that bad. But, I mean, just what I've been watching over the past handful of weeks, even during the winning streak, man, it's just like these guys just don't really move the needle for this team, man, at all. And I just do not have much faith in Wan'dale Robinson. And I do not have, I'm starting to get to the point where I really doubt Jalen Hyatt's ability to run the route tree and get open against press coverage, find the holes in the zone. I just don't know if he can do it. And I don't know if he'll catch on quick enough to where he can really make his mark before he gets phased out of his offense. So that's just the wide receiver position on this team, man. This team needs so much work. I've already gone over the offensive line, the wide receiver options on this team. Darren Waller, I don't know if he'll be on this team next year. I don't know if the Giants will renew his contract. He's going to be, 34 next year? He's had a plethora of injuries this season. Barely been on the field. Doesn't do much when he's out there. It's like this offense just is in desperate need to just start over from scratch at the quarterback position again. And that's why I do not want this team to drop back any further in that draft. Like I said, man, I feel like the referees did us a favor yesterday, because we would have won that game. We'd have fallen back to 8th or 9th in that draft. We cannot afford this. Cannot afford this. Too many holes on this team. I just gone over the offensive line. Wide receivers that we have on this team. Saquon may be going out the door. Hell, let Saquon go somewhere else and experience winning football. Don't hold that man hostage here anymore. Why? If he's got 2 good years left, let him go somewhere else and actually enjoy his time on the field, instead of dealing with all this BS the freaking Giants put him through. Have put him through his whole entire career. I'd hate to see him go, but man, at the same time, I'm eager to kind of see some new blood coming into this football team, especially not especially, but at the running back position. You look at guys like Jalen Warren, Devon Achane. You got guys. Who else is out there? I mean, there's been so many good late running backs that have been drafted. It's like we can get one of these guys. Who else am I thinking of? Look at Mostert. Like Raheem Mostert, he was drafted late. He's going out there. He's been good for the 49ers. He's been good for the Dolphins. He's excelled basically everywhere he's gone. Late running back. Jaylen Warren for the Steelers, man. If he ever got the bulk of the carries, hell, he may be an awesome running back in this league. If Pittsburgh can get their offensive line right. But there's just so many things that need to be done. And then it's like I hear outside people that follow this team and people that watch YouTube videos. They're like, you know, if we fall back in the draft and, you know, we talk about we can trade up. And it's like, man, I just went over the offensive line, the wide receiver options, like the running back options on this team. And this is just the offensive side of the ball and a quarterback that we need. It's like we cannot afford to trade up to go get a quarterback. There's no way anybody could ever tell me that was even a possible option for this football team. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Not with the holes this team has. Expect that the offense needs to start over from scratch. Period. Start over from scratch. Like this offense as a whole is in its infant stages, man. You gotta crawl before you walk. And this team is just sitting on its ass in a dirty diaper right now. Can't even support its head because its neck is too weak. That's this offense. And people talk about, yeah, well, we can trade up. What? What? What have you been watching for years when it comes to this football team? But I'm the bad fan. I'm a fair weather fan. Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't right in the head. Something's wrong with you. I don't know what to tell people that tell me that kind of stuff. It don't make no sense to me. People that know me, man, they tell you I'm the biggest damn Giants fan they know. Hell, I wear Giants stuff when it's not even football season. Like 4 out of the 7 days a week, I'm wearing Giants stuff, even in the off season. Always talking about football. I'm a fair weather fan. It's comical, man. I don't know. This team has so many holes. So I don't even know where to start. But let's just start at the quarterback for starters. And let's get that done. And then maybe we can talk about going to get a Brandon Ayuk, getting ourselves a new running back, and just basically redoing this running game and retooling the whole entire offense. Even Bellinger, man. I think Bellinger could be a good player, but it's like, I don't know. I think he could be a good role player. But could he be that steady guy that we need at tight end? You know, down in and down out? I don't know. This team just needs so many improvements in all areas. And we're just touching on the offense. I'm not even beginning to talk about the defense. That's it for the video, y'all. Take it easy. If I don't make another video, Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It's just, I'm running out of things to talk about. I really don't know what else to delve into when it comes to this team. And I feel like everybody on here just kind of comes on here and has talked about the same things just over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's like, how many times can you come out here and make a video talking about the same stuff before things start to improve? There's only so much you can say about football, man. Catch the ball, run the ball. Stop the other team. It's pretty cut and dry. That's it. Y'all take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.